And that is all from the BBC News at 1 team. Goodbye from all of us. On BBC One, we'll join our news teams wherever you are. Bye-bye.
The headlines in London and the South East today. Stranded in the Philippines, the intensive care nurse unable to fly home because of the travel ban.
I just want to be back to help my colleagues, and I feel really useless to be, 11,000 kilometres away from them.
As retired signallers keep trains moving, unions claim the tube is still overcrowded. And it's emerged 3 immigration removal centres are housing people with symptoms of coronavirus. Good afternoon. BBC London and BBC South East Today are joining forces to keep you up to date with the latest on the coronavirus. NHS workers who are stranded abroad have made a desperate appeal to the government to bring them home during the coronavirus outbreak. A family of 3 from Kent, all working in the health service, is stuck in the Philippines because of the travel ban imposed in the crisis. In London, there are still reports of overcrowding on the tube, and Network Rail wants retired signallers to keep trains running. In a moment, we'll get the latest with our transport correspondent Tom Edwards. First, this report from Sarah Smith.
3 members of one family stuck in the Philippines when they know they're needed back home. An intensive care nurse, Lorenzo Gokuma, works at Pembury Hospital, as do his mother and father. In the Philippines for his grandfather's 90th birthday, the country is now on lockdown and they're stuck in their hotel, all flights cancelled.
I just want to be back to help my colleagues, and I feel really useless to be, 11,000 kilometres away from them. I'm here with my parents as well, and they both work in hospital as well. So we're all keen to go back and work and do our part, and protect the NHS.
Hi everyone. Sorry I'm reading this off a bit of paper, but I need your help. So I was wondering if
also stuck abroad, Cambodia this time, is Cheryl Baxter, matron of a respiratory ward at the Conquest Hospital in Hastings. She put this plea out for help on Facebook.
I'm a frontline NHS nurse. Come on, Boris Johnson, help me get back to where I'm needed.
And today the Prime Minister was asked what the government was doing to bring people home.
We are certainly doing everything we can to bring back British nationals, British citizens from abroad. A huge operation is going on now to repatriate them.
The Foreign Office has urged British nationals to return home, but with flights cancelled and borders closing, they're increasingly reliant on government help to do so.
Sarah Smith reporting there. Meanwhile, Transport for London says passenger numbers are down by 1/3 on yesterday, but unions claim there are still overcrowding. Well, we can now speak live to our transport correspondent, Tom Edwards, who's working from home. So Tom, on the tubes then, so not as bad, but still problems.
Yeah, as you say there, tube passengers down 30%, bus passengers down 20% compared to yesterday. But there is still some overcrowding in places. Have a look at this. This is footage from North Greenwich that a union contact sent me. And you can see there that there are still a lot of crowds. What TfL have been trying to do is regulate the passenger flow. So they've been closing escalators, closing gate lines to try and get fewer passengers onto the station. There's also been 500 British Transport Police out and about across the country asking people if their journeys are essential. We spoke to them a little bit earlier. This is what they had to say.
If you look around today, there are still far too many people who are travelling that I don't think necessarily meet that criteria. So, first and foremost, we communicate with people, we use the powers of persuasion, but we should be under no illusion that we need to enforce these, and we will take those measures that are necessary.
And Tom, you've been speaking to transport staff, so what have they been telling you?
Yeah, transport workers are absolutely furious with the comments made yesterday by the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, who said that TfL could run a full service. What transport workers are saying is they can't run a full service because there are so many of them sick. A lot of them have been messaging me. I'll just give you an example of them. For example, most of us have families, and because people aren't social distancing, we're being exposed to the virus more. We are dropping like flies. Another one, we have 30 out of 80 drivers off and half the managers. We are trying our best. We are very upset we're being blamed. Another one, normally I've got no time for Sadiq, that's the mayor, but the government has gone too far. Real anger from Transport's key workers about those comments.
And just briefly, Tom, what can you tell us then about the call for more signallers?
Yeah, there is a call for more retired signallers. Also, I've been given the latest figures for trains in and out of Kent and that area. 89% drop in passengers, only 40,000 passengers a day travelling. That compares to 1 million normally on the Go via Thameslink franchise.
OK, thanks, Tom. Well, it looks like Parliament will be joining the rest of the country in shutting down this evening. So this lunchtime, we've had the last Prime Minister's questions for at least a month. Harrow's Gareth Thomas and Hove's Peter Kyle both asked questions about protective equipment and testing for staff fighting the coronavirus in NHS hospitals and care homes. Well, our political editor, Amanda Acas, is at Westminster for us this lunchtime. So, Amanda, this is the first time then that MPs have been able to ask Boris Johnson questions since the announcement about the lockdown on Monday night.
Yes, and one of the first questions came from Harrow's MP raising the situation at Northwick Park Hospital, which declared a critical incident on Friday after running out of intensive care beds. He asked when staff would be able to have high-grade protective equipment and testing. The Prime Minister replied that there had been a delivery and that supplies would keep coming. Hove's MP Peter Kyle then raised the situation at Oaklands Park Care Home. He said it had taken 10 days for a 94-year-old resident there to be tested after displaying signs of coronavirus, by which point another 14 were displaying symptoms, and 7 staff were also self-isolating at home. He said they hadn't got the protection equipment they requested and asked what was going to be done about it.
Can the Prime Minister tell the House, in the 80,000 care homes around Britain, what date will they expect tests to be carried out on the day that symptoms emerge, and every single person working in those care homes will get the protective equipment they need?
Well, on the tests, as I said earlier on, the answer is we want to roll that out as soon as we possibly can. And on the personal protective equipment, the answer is by the end of this week.
So, Amanda, what will MPs do then after Parliament closes?
Well, like people across the country, they'll be continuing to work from home, although there has been some disquiet about Parliament breaking a few days early for Easter. Lloyd Russell-Moyle, the MP for Brighton Kemp Town, who himself has only just recovered from coronavirus, said they should be continuing to sit with video debates, particularly while there are still outstanding questions about support for the self-employed and renters. But the Prime Minister has said there'll be further announcement about those issues in coming days.
OK, thanks, Amanda. A case of COVID-19 has been confirmed at Yarl's Wood Immigration Centre. There are also reports of cases at Brook House near Gatwick. The campaign group Detention Action have accused the government of failing to safeguard those in removal centres from the coronavirus. Right, time for a look at the weather now with Nina. How is it this afternoon?
It's dry and it's sunny out there at the moment, Chrissie. We did start off the day on a chilly note of frost, and even along the Sussex coastline there was the signs of a frost on the gardens. Now, as we go through the rest of the afternoon, we're likely to keep the blue skies. It's going to be fine and dry, and with the winds a little lighter, for many of us feeling slightly warmer. But with that chilly breeze still coming in from the east, it is going to be cooler there, with temperatures being pegged back through the afternoon at around 11 to 12 degrees. But where we've got those lighter winds come further west, it will feel milder, with highs of 13 to 14. Now, this evening and overnight tonight stays dry with cloudless skies, and as a result we are expecting another frost. Temperatures for most will fall below freezing. We could see a lowest temperature of around about -1 to -2 degrees. Now then, as we look to tomorrow's weather, again dry and sunny and feeling relatively mild. A little more cloud developing as we head towards the weekend, and with a change to a northerly breeze, it's also going to be turning colder. Chrissie.
All right, thanks, Nina. OK, that's all from the lunchtime team. You have a lovely afternoon. Do stay safe. Goodbye.